It's time to shoot the rock. This is the Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN 102.7 FM, AM 1450, AM 1230, and streaming live on ESPNKY.com. Your weekly double-barrel dose of the biggest names, best products, and most intriguing topics in the world of firearms. Brought to you by Hilux Optics, Swagger by Pods, Shoot with Confidence, J&K Used Cars on the Bypass, and Mohawk Outdoors. In pursuit of liberty, justice, and all things guns. Here are your hosts, Nick and Nate Noble.
Welcome back to the Rockcastle Gun Show here on ESPN Radio 102.7. It's Nick and Nate Noble, your host of the Rockcastle Gun Show, here every Wednesday night from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. live on ESPN Radio 102.7, ESPN Glasgow, AM 1230, and up there in E-Town, Fort Knox area, every Saturday morning at 9 Eastern Standard Time, up in 106.1. It's always good to have those folks from Fort Knox and E-Town and Glasgow and Bowling Green and other markets coming in and doing it. So, Nate, great to be back. We got a great show tonight.
Yeah, well, then you were talking about the stations, but bro, right now there's people tuning in all over the world on ESPN Radio 1027.com and ESPNKY.com. And later tonight, after the show's done, it'll be shot over and recorded and put onto a podcast. And we're deep in the podcast now. Lots of information, lots of guests, everything you want to know about the shooting sports world, whether it's guns, gear, the people, the celebrity, the heroes that are out there doing work in the shooting community. We talk to them every week, and I'm looking forward to tonight. We got a great show lined up.
If this is your first time listening to this show, it's kind of a variety show. We bring on a lot of different subjects. I mean, tonight we're going to be talking about the Rockcastle Pro-Am 3-Gun Championships with our match director, David Power, which is always a big subject. It's the largest 3-gun competition in the world. We're going to be talking to Tom Fuller with Armageddon Gear, just an incredible company that's doing incredible things, and they're putting on a huge new PRS match with tons of cash prizes. We're going to be talking about that. And then we're going to talk ammunition with Tommy Thacker. Who's
some cool ammo.
Yeah, we shot it in the cave last week with Ammo Inc., and we'll be talking about the Streak. So this is just this weekend, and every week is a little bit different. And whether you're a long range shooter, whether you're just a plinker, whether you're brand new to guns, whether you're a highly competitive shooter, we try to bring a variety to your airwaves each and every week. Do a lot of gun reviews and things like that on guns and gear. So we welcome you to get on our Facebook page or Instagram and give us some feedback in terms of what you would like to hear. And, you're listening to the show right now. What would you like to hear in the future? Give us some feedback, some questions, things like that. You can catch us on Rockcastle Shooting Center on Facebook and at Shoot the Rock on Instagram, and of course we're on Twitter as well.
Yeah, and there's a multitude of things you can do every day at the Rock. So don't forget, it's the place to shoot in Kentucky, whether it's South Central or not. There's people coming from all over. Our members come from Atlanta. Our members come from Cincinnati, Indiana, Illinois. And they come down. We got the long range there. You can shoot out almost to a mile right now. We got the 750-yard range for non-members. So even non-members can come and stretch their guns out a little bit and get their game on. We got the sporting clays there with Cave Mountain Clays and David Power, who's coming on later. We got rifle pistol ranges. We got the 3D archery course, which, hey, guys, it's almost archery season. Time to gear up, guys and gals. We got that every day.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun to be at the range every day and see people coming in. Yesterday we had some reservations from a brother and sister. They're in their maybe late 20s, early 30s. They were from Queens, New York, and they came in. They had shot a shotgun before, like trap and skeet kind of thing, and we took them out. They wanted a 1-hour intro to pistol and rifle, and they were great folks. A little timid walking into the situation, coming from Queens. I mean, they're asking if they were going to get ticks by walking onto the range because there was a little grass and stuff there. And it was kind of funny and it was kind of cute. But at the end of the day, they were high-fiving, chest bumping. I mean, it was really fun to watch. These two young folks that had really never been around guns much in their life. They live in one of the most restricted gun areas in the country in New York City. And every gun we shot yesterday with them was a gun that was not legal in the state of New York.
which we laugh about, and it's funny, but it's not funny.
Well, and the
sad for those people.
The sad part is we shot an AR-15 with a 30-round mag and a 9mm with a 16-round mag. That's the illegal guns, which is basically what a standard protocol in most states.
I have two of each in my truck.
Exactly.
So yeah.
But I guess
today we had people in from Germany.
Yeah.
At the Rock. So guncations all over the place, man. People are coming in from all over the world. It's going to be interesting to see because in Germany, you can't shoot a rifle outside.
Yeah, it has to be indoor
shooting range. It's crazy.
Yeah, so it's fun to do that. So anybody that's in the area obviously can take part in this, but we get a lot of travelers from all over the world, all over the United States that come in. You know, we've got shooting ranges in caves, we got out to a mile, we've got everything in between. So it's always a great place at the Rockcastle Shooting Center. So, hey, we're going to have a great show coming up with Tom Fuller is going to be our guest coming up after this break, the CEO and former Army marksmanship
Sergeant Major
that was there, and he's an incredible shooter, but he's got an incredible company, and they've got an incredible new match coming up, the AG Cup. We'll talk about that coming back. We'll talk PRS here on ESPN Radio, the Rockcastle Gun Show. We'll be right back after this message.
Although hunting to most of us is much more than just harvesting animals, why not better your deer herd's health with Big & J long-range attractant? Big & J is highly digestible, high in protein, and isn't full of preservatives. With Big & J long-range attractants, you're not only exploiting one of the few weaknesses whitetails have, their stomachs, but you're maximizing antler growth, improving overall herd health, and pulling deer from your neighbor's property. So whether your goals are to fill the freezer, kill mature bucks, or both, Big & J long-range attractants will stack the odds in your favor, all the while making your deer herd bigger and healthier.
J&K Used Cars is the place to go when you need a quality automobile at an affordable price. Stop in at 670 on the Bypass in Bowling Green and see this week's special. A 2011 Toyota Tacoma pickup. Crew Cab 4x4 comes with V6 engine, good miles, sport wheels, camper shell, power options, and more for only $21,995. Hurry in because at that price it won't last long. J&K Used Cars with over 40 years of serving the community with affordable prices on quality automobiles. Visit J&K on the Bypass and online at jnkusedcars.com.
This is Nate from Rockcastle Shooting Center. Did you know that one of the premier shooting ranges in the world is right here in South Central Kentucky? Rockcastle Shooting Center has something for everyone's recreational shooting enjoyment. From 3D archery to our brand new sporting clays course, handgun ranges full of steel to targets out to a mile. There's no better place to get some trigger time than Rockcastle Shooting Center. Non-members are welcome, and memberships start at $150 per year. We offer a fantastic range of firearms training and education opportunities from the most basic to the most advanced. Come see us, exit 48 on I-65, Park City, Kentucky. Visit rockcastleshootingcenter.com.
Hey, it's Nick Noble with the Rockcastle Gun Show here. We're talking about Swagger bipods. Do you want just your average barrel rest, or do you want to shoot with some swagger? Introducing the Swagger bipods. They expand your shooting zone with Swagger, the all-terrain hunting bipod. After more than 100 years, finally shooters have a bipod with patented, flexible, hyper-extending telescoping legs that give you the agility like never before. So get rid of stiff legs and get the bipod with infinite maneuverability. Swagger, the bipod that moves.
It's John Scoutten from Shooting USA on Outdoor Channel, and you're listening to the Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN Radio.
Yeah, welcome back every Wednesday night, 6-7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on ESPN Radio from the studios in Bowling Green, Kentucky, just south of the Rockcastle Club, sitting up on the hill, the gorgeous views of South Central Kentucky, 36 miles you can see from that place. And you want to shoot that far when you look out there across the view.
Yeah, it just makes you want to shoot long range.
It just makes you want to shoot
just gives you that. Let's go shoot 1,000 yards. Let's go shoot 1,700 yards.
Hey,
Let's go do it out.
Our sponsor, you had that commercial right before, Swagger bipods, man. They got some of the newest, craziest stuff out. I'm looking forward to a good hunting season here in Kentucky with my elk hunting guide service that I do, but deer and whitetail as well. But the Swagger bipods are irreplaceable. And right now, you know, they were mentioning on the show before, it's the Big & J's. The deer are wearing that crap out. And we have 2 blocks from 2 different companies at the same camera. And one block's been there for like 3 weeks, hasn't been touched. We put the Big & J block out, and that stuff was gone in 5 days.
Getting annihilated.
Annihilation. Total domination for Swagger. And right now, we got a guy that's no stranger to Rockcastle Shooting Center. Pray you'll never need gear this good. Armageddon Gear's founder and chief everything, Tom Fuller. What up?
Hey, Nick and Nate, how you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Great to have you on the Rockcastle Gun Show, Tom.
Yeah, well, thanks, guys. I wish I was there in person hanging out with you at Rockcastle.
I wish you were too.
I wish you were too, because it's probably 40 degrees cooler, even though it's 100 here, than it is in Georgia where you are.
Yeah, you're probably right, and maybe just a little bit less humidity. I just missed those views you were just talking about.
You're the wild man. I mean, I think last time you were up there, I was telling somebody a story yesterday. This is a tangent for Tom Fuller, but he went on a walk from the lodge to the golf course with his lovely, beautiful wife, and he was barefooted. And it was like August. And then he went and shot sporting clays barefooted, and then he walked back to the lodge barefooted. So tell us why you go barefooted so much.
Man, I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, I know.
I don't. When I retired from the Army, I had a plantar fasciitis, like a lot of people do, and just overuse things. And I read a book about the benefits of going barefoot, and it hurt like crazy at first, but all those foot problems went away, and actually my knees feel better. I run barefoot. I walk quite a bit barefoot, not as much as I used to, but I really do think there's some health benefits for it. And I'm just a mountain man at heart anyway. So,
you're a tough SOB, man.
Yeah, you're like you're a perfect candidate for Naked and Afraid, because I mean that's the biggest first hurdle you have to get over on that show is watching barefoot.
Kill everybody.
How can you not condition your feet when you're going on that show? You're like ready made.
Man, I think I might do flip flops and Afraid. I'm not sure. But,
so man, Armageddon Gear, you guys are doing some awesome stuff. You have a crazy kind of new match coming up that is not really open to a lot of people, but it's awesome because you guys are doing some big things. Let's talk about the AG Cup, Armageddon Gear Cup. What is the deal?
Well, you guys have been around the long-range shooting sports as long as I have, and you've seen the evolution of the sport. It's grown, but it's grown very broadly. Small one-day matches are all over every weekend now, and in the two-day national level matches, they're every weekend somewhere. And but they're all the same. It's all the same venue. And Armageddon Gear's never hosted a match, and it seems like we would have a long time ago. But just you kind of know how Armageddon Gear does business. It's like, hey, we want to do things different, bigger, better if we can in every way. So I've never done a match because I'm like, how can I make it different? I just don't want to do the same thing. And I finally had this idea to do a true professional level venue, and it's an invitational match. And we took who we feel like, and it's not just subjective on our part, but through scores and finishes and guys that's won matches over for a long time, and invited 20 of who we believe are some of the top shooters in the nation to compete for $40,000 in prizes.
Woo.
And the way that's going to work is the winner's going to get $20,000, and it's a 20-stage match, and every stage is going to be worth $1,000 as well. So, and we did it that way. So if a guy who's a great shooter, but how close these matches are nowadays.
Totally.
Yep. If somebody's like, man, I just lost 3 points and I'm pretty much out of it, he can switch his strategy a little bit and start trying to win stage wins and rack up some thousands that way.
Yeah, because a lot of people probably don't even really understand. When you win a match, you may not ever win a stage. You may come in second on every stage, or second, third, and fourth every stage. And it's just your overall score that's getting up there to the top score. So it's a pretty fair process, really. I mean, because there's not a lot of guys that win every stage. I mean, there's a few that'll get out there and dominate on a good day, but...
Well, right, and that's going to cause a strategy from the shooter perspective, because the top guys, when they're going out for a match win, which most of them do, they're probably going to be very methodical and take that extra few seconds to build that good position before they fire that shot, where in this format, I think it's always going to be in the back of their mind, I want to win this stage. And I think it's going to put a little mental pressure on the competitors, as well as just force them to make a decision on the strategy they want to do to start off with.
Well, you guys had a really big splash a couple of weeks ago when you announced the match, and I think it's brilliant. What you're doing is brilliant. What's been the feedback? I mean, 20 shooters get invited. I'm sure there was another 20 shooters that were a little had some red butt on that. But how's the feedback been? And you've announced the field now officially, or have you? Because I've seen because I've seen some lists, but I didn't know whether it was official or not. And how's the feedback been from the shooting community, the PRS community?
Man, it's been amazing. It's exciting. A lot of people are mentioning, man, this is the future of the sport, which I think that's just kind of a stretch. I just want to do the one good match and pull it off great. But, the way I'm thinking ahead, it could change some things. And we forgot to mention earlier, this is going to be the first ever precision rifle type match that's made for TV. We've all seen, the Scoutins with Shooting USA cover a match. Hey, we're here at the match, and here's what went on. But this one's actually going to be, formatted to make good TV.
That's
so
cool.
What I mean by that is commentary and, leaderboard and things like that, so the viewers kind of feel like they're there seeing what's going on.
Hey, if you can make bass fishing exciting, which I love to bass fish, we all do, but there's so much science and art and things that go into long-range shooting. I mean, from the wind to your dope to, everything you've got to figure out. It would be intriguing to watch a really good TV coverage, and Lord knows the Scoutins will do a great job.
Sure they will, and I think that's our challenge is to be able to bring that to the viewers. I mean, watching, like you said, bass fishing. I love watching bass fishing. I do. But I really went over the edge when I saw cornhole on ESPN. I'm like, okay, it's time. It's time for us to get up here and get something going on TV. But and the challenge is for us to be able to bring that. I mean, a guy shoots a gun and somebody says impact. Well, that's kind of boring, and no one really got out of it what really went on. So we're going to try to break that down. You guys have both watched golf, and when the guy hits the ball, there's this like graphic line that shows the trajectory of the ball.
Right.
Well, the trajectory of a bullet would look something like that. Obviously not as high, but if you could capture that elevation and then that drop in that wind and how that bullet's sweeping into the target, and a lot of people would be surprised to see what that bullet really does. So that's one of our challenges, is to make people go, wow. It's almost like teaching a ballistic class visually. And if we can capture it right and do it, and I'm confident we can, because the crew at Shooting USA, and they're gonna bring it.
Honestly, it's like Olympic archery with some bang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Olympic archery has such higher viewer ratings, and it's kind of boring to me. But at least you got some pop and some bang, and with the commentary and some of the things that Shooting USA boys can pull off, it ought to be really cool.
I think so, and what we really hope is that the personality of these competitors can come through, because you guys have been around these guys, great dudes, bunch of different personalities, and women. Regina Milkovich will be one of the competitors. I mean, she's the only woman that's had multiple wins at national level matches, so she's rightfully deserved her spot. And if we can get let the personalities come through for TV, nobody really wants to watch a thing. They want to see people doing a thing. And so we're going to try to let the personalities come through and let these competitors kind of make a name for themselves for an audience. That would be one of our goals.
Yeah, that's really cool. So this is a 20-stage match, and it's going to happen. What are the dates of the match?
It's October 28th is sign-in and interviews, and 29 and 30 is the match at Arena down here in Georgia, and it's really close to us. So it's going to make it easy for us, and I can bring the whole crew out to watch it. Yeah. And it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which has probably never been done on a precision rifle match either. But hey, nowadays you can't plan anything on a weekend without another venue.
No, and when you put $40,000 in cash up, I mean, you can take a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, so that's good. One of the things I think is great is that you're doing all of that, and in terms of match director and what kind of, I mean, you get PRS is PRS and National Rifle League and everything else, but you do at different venues you get different flavors and there's a little bit different thing. Is there going to be kind of an overriding? Who's the match director for this? Is it you, or who's going to set this whole thing up and design the course of fire? And is it going to be? Is there going to be some curveballs that maybe they haven't seen in other matches, or is it going to be similar to some of the other PRS stuff?
It's going to be the shooting is going to be similar to what you would expect from a national level match, and I will be the match director. I'm setting the course of fire, and I didn't want to make it corny or gimmicky. That wouldn't be fair to the shooters, because my feeling is, to be good at shooting, it's a thinking game, right? I mean, your mind has got to be totally focused on what you're doing, seeing that mirage move right before you take a shot, making that wind call right. And I just have a feeling that there's going to be some mental stress added because of the format, because of the TV, because of the money on the line. The only other people there are top shooters who could beat you, no matter who you are. And so I just want it to be a normal match, because it doesn't matter how hard or how easy. There's going to be a winner, and there's going to be a loser, and it's going to be the best person that day.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I've noticed on your social media when you guys announce a match is everybody was like, hey, who's going to be in, who's going to be in? But 90% of the people like, hey, I know I'm not going to be in, but can I come watch this match? I mean, they want to come witness this because it is going to be a historic match.
Right, and we launched that, and we knew this was going to be a big deal because it's just such a different format, and when money talks, right? Yeah. So we knew that would get a lot of reaction, probably not to the extent that it did. However, we are going to invite people, and we're going to release some more information tomorrow about just some of the rules and some of the conduct of the match that's going to be different, and I think it's going to be very interesting for just the PRS social media crowd to read and see how we're going to do it, how we're going to score things, how we're going to handle things that come up at matches where a shooter thinks he hit the target and the RO thinks he didn't. We've got a plan for all that. And it's going to be a little bit different, and I think it's going to elevate the venue and just make it more professional, and that's the whole point of this. You remember years and years ago, the first time I met you guys was 3-gunning, probably one of the first matches you guys had, but you remember the very first Mammoth.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while, maybe
10 years
2010,
ago. 2010, yeah.
2009.
Yeah.
But those matches back then, there were maybe 10, what were bigger matches back then in the precision rifle world across the country. It wasn't a lot, and the top shooter, the top 3 or 4 shooters was probably winning a very nice gun. You remember that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, now there's so many matches, the top shooter in the sport, one, he may be shooting, and on his squad right beside him may be a guy that's like, hey, it's my first match ever. Well, that's really great for the sport. It is, and it's going to keep the sport growing, and it's going to keep new people entering, and we got to have that. But there's so many matches that the top guy in the sport now, if he wins 3 or 4 matches, he's really not winning anything anymore because there's just too much, too many matches, not enough for sponsors to go around, so they spread it really, really thin. Hey, again, you throw some lucrative prize money out there, and I think it's, deserving of the skill of these guys. You know how good they are.
Oh, yeah, and there are some incredible shooters. Your list of 20 is, literally some of the best shooters in the country, if not the world, so it's going to be fun to watch.
I would agree with you there, and I think it's going to be I'm excited. I'm excited. It's my match. I'm going to have pressure to pull it off and all that stuff. I'm just excited to see how it goes down from the competitor's perspective. It's just going to be. It's just going to be fun, to see how it goes. And not putting the cart before the horse, but I hope this is something that we can do again and again.
Yeah, no doubt. And you got this, bro. This is you're pulling off a match like this. That's your wheelhouse. I know it's going to be a great job, and I look forward to seeing it. Obviously it won't air for a while with the Scouting boys putting it on. It'll be on one of their seasons coming up, and a few months lag time probably in between when it hits TV. But very exciting to get to look at it.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be. It's really going to be, and from the time the guys show up, we just want it to feel like a professional venue and a professional sport. And then, I really think it could be a small sector of this sport, and hopefully, well, I don't, who knows? I mean, it takes a lot to pull any match off, as you guys know, but something like this, I wouldn't mind to see other matches sprout up like this,
exactly.
that are, because like you said, there were some guys that were like, hey, I felt like I should have been invited. I mean, for the most part, I think, we were very above board with how we chose everybody, and no one can really argue, like you said, the list of names. No one could say, man, those guys are not deserving to be there. But, it would be nice to make it bigger. It would be nice to maybe have a qualifier to get to it, to open it up, not for the, because the same, if we do 20 every year, it's very likely to be much of the same 20. It's just how it is.
That's how it is. This is the AG Cup, Armageddon Gear Cup. Tell us how we can find out more about Armageddon, because you guys are doing incredible things with all your gear and everything you're doing, and your incredibly creative marketing company and incredibly innovative product, production company. Tell us how to find out more about Armageddon Gear.
Well, you can find out about our products and a lot of our videos and things at ArmageddonGear.com, Armageddon Gear Facebook, Armageddon Gear Instagram. We're constantly updating with things going on, new products, where we're at, what we're doing. And tomorrow we're canning wind cheater beer again, guys.
I was going to say we're remiss if we don't mention that you're actually canning beer. And my favorite social media quote of the day was, if you like America or beer, you should be here. Because that's what Armageddon Gear is all about, man.
And that's right.
Wind cheater beer.
We have fun with it.
Yes, sir. Well, we look forward to seeing on Hell at the Rock. We're going to go up against a break here, so we're going to run out. But, man, can't wait to have you at Rockcastle Shooting Center one of these days. Got matches coming up that I know you're going to be there, and loved having you on the show today, bro.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.
All right, Tom Fuller, we're out of here for a minute. We're going to go pay some sponsors, and you're listening to the Rockcastle Gun Show. We'll be right back. ESPN Radio 1027.com.
This is a Morgan & Morgan consumer message.
If you've been in a car crash or suffered an injury, this could be the most important message you'll ever hear. Almost always, the person refusing to pay you is not the person who caused the injury. It's their insurance company, State Farm, Geico, Allstate, and the like. They make billions and billions of dollars by keeping as much money as they can in their own pockets. Big companies with the deepest pockets and an army of lawyers. Literally thousands. But at Morgan & Morgan, we too have an army of lawyers. And you know what else? Many of our lawyers came from the same insurance companies we now fight against. If you're injured in a car crash, slip and fall, or the victim of medical malpractice, our army will fight like hell for you. Just dial Pound Law on your cell phone. That's pound 529. Pound Law, that's all. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Offices Bowling Green.
Although hunting to most of us is much more than just harvesting animals, why not better your deer herd's health with Big & J Long Range Attractant? Big & J is highly digestible, high in protein, and isn't full of preservatives. With Big & J Long Range Attractants, you're not only exploiting one of the few weaknesses whitetails have, their stomachs, but you're maximizing antler growth, improving overall herd health, and pulling deer from your neighbor's property. So whether your goals are to fill the freezer, kill mature bucks, or both, Big & J Long Range Attractants will stack the odds in your favor, all the while making your deer herd bigger and healthier.
Mohawk Outdoors is a 501c3 organization. Our mission is to promote the healing of combat veterans suffering from their wounds of war by incorporating the great outdoors. We've personally seen how these efforts can leave a positive impact on veteran lives, so we strive to provide similar opportunities for others who may benefit. The self-inflicted loss of our battle buddies and the current suicide rate of those that served is unacceptable. We need your help to better assist those who have protected this great country. Like us on Facebook or visit MohawkOutdoors.com for more information.
Hey, this is Tommy Thacker, and you're listening to the Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN.
Welcome back to the Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN Radio, the only gun show on ESPN Radio, and we're very proud of that. On your airwaves every Wednesday evening, live on ESPN 102.7, Glasgow AM 1230, E-Town Fort Knox 106.1. And hey, this is the Mohawk Outdoors segment. You just heard the wonderful advertisement from one of our buddies, JD Williams. He's a triple amputee, Army veteran, got blown up, lost 3 of his limbs, and this dude lives life to the fullest every single day, Nate. And it's so proud to have him as a friend, and he was in the studio with us here earlier. And Mohawk Outdoors is doing some great things, so folks, check out Mohawk Outdoors. They're getting folks and wounded warriors with visible and non-visible, and I think the non-visible injuries are as important because, as JD says, guys that have the visible injuries get a lot of attention. It's the non-visible injuries that's resulting in 22 suicides a day.
Yeah, and not only living his life to the fullest, but helping other people do that too after they get back from the zone and back into reality of the United States and out of the service and stuff, and taking them hunting, and the brotherhood that is the outdoors and the shooting community is made for these people, and JD just learned how to find it for them. So
that's right.
Cool stuff. And here comes the boom right here. Tommy Gun Thacker. Tommy Thacker. You heard, dude, I had one of the coolest weeks last week. First of all, let's go. Tommy, now you're with Ammo Inc.
That's right.
Very cool ammunition company, man. You guys got so many cool things. We've had products of yours in the Industry Choice Awards evaluation for several years. The Black Series, I mean, you guys have all these different ammos out there, but you came out with a new one, and I took it into a cave with Sammy the Dwarf for tacticallife.com, and it was one of the funnest things I've ever done.
Yeah, absolutely. It's having a ball, doing something different. On the ammunition manufacturing side of the business, part I haven't been in before, but really enjoying it, bringing contacts together, and having fun with a lot of new products. Streak ammunition is just one it's the coolest thing out there.
It is. And tell us a little bit before we get deep into Streak. You guys make a lot of other stuff, and you make some phenomenal ammo, especially for indoor range kind of quality stuff. So go through a little bit about the company and kind of let people know what's out there.
Yeah, Ammo Inc. as a base is several different brands of ammunition, if you will. If you look at it as a whole, we do the Jesse James line of ammo that's really big in Texas. A lot of people follow that. We have the Ops brands, which is it's a frangible hollow point. So It's a little bit different than your standard frangible ammo. It has a hollow point base, so it acts like a hollow point in defensive use, but you can also train with it close range. And then we have the Stealth line of ammunition, which is your subsonic stuff. And then we have the Jeff Rand American Hunter, which is a pretty positive round when it comes to hunting. And Jeff's, real big at the 777 Ranch and done a lot of good stuff with that ammo. So, there's a lot of brands, cover a lot of ground. We have the Ammo Inc., which is our signature line, just our standard Ammo Inc. brand, and that's what I shoot for precision rifle stuff, long distance. But the big push is Streak ammunition, the visual ammunition that you just talked about shooting in the cave.
Now, when you look at this stuff, shooting it inside or in a gun range, it's actually, you can see the bullet. It's got a coating on the back of the bullet that is not on fire, but it makes a glow. So let's explain that to people first. It's a non-incendiary round, but the thing's glowing, man.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a proprietary blend on the back. It's a photoluminescent epoxy that's applied to the back of the projectile. So the flash from the powder burning is what ignites that. I say ignites it. It charges, if you will, because of the flash of light. That captures the light, and as the bullet flies away from you, it glows red, and it creates that tracer-like effect. So it's a visual ammunition. It's not a tracer, and we're make sure that we let everybody know it's not a tracer round, because tracer is an incendiary round, and then we'll catch everything on fire. So this has no heat. It's never on fire. So several things that attributes to. It doesn't heat up your barrel. It doesn't heat up your gun. Doesn't burn the range down, indoor or outdoor. It's super safe for everywhere. It's a fun round to shoot. Now the other side of it has to be low light or indoor, and when you're shooting in those conditions, you can absolutely see it all the way to the target. It's the coolest thing out there.
Absolutely. And Tommy, you've been to Rockcastle Shooting Center just as much, if not more, than anybody throughout the years, and we've had the honor of knowing you for a long time, and you've shot in our caves a whole bunch throughout the years, but you've never shot the Streak in one of the Rockcastle caves in our cave range. And last week, seeing that in person was like, oh my God, that is so cool. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, that's something I'd love to do.
I actually had made the suggestion. Our good friends at Crimson Trace had left some laser lights there and stuff, and we were talking about putting them on the gun to go into the cave, and I was like, no. Let's see this stuff in real live hero action on the range with the video cameras in the cave. And let me tell you how cool it is, because I'm following the shooter, obviously, for safety purposes, as range master for the shoot and everything. And we have bullet traps in the cave. So everybody thinks, when you're shooting in a cave, bullets are bouncing off of rocks. Well, that's not how it happens. We have bullet traps in there that actually kind of trap the bullet and drop it to the ground. And the stuff lasts long enough on the back of the bullet to where he shoots a target and runs by it, and at the bottom on the ground, the bullets are glowing in the dark, and it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And Sammy the dwarf, he's a YouTube sensation. Everybody go look up Sammy, but he's running by, and he would turn around to me and go, "Did you see that on the ground? Did you see that on the ground?" And we're trying to get, it's on video and everything else, and pretty soon it'll be coming to tacticallife.com. With the Athlon Outdoor Properties, but very cool, man. It was really neat. Some of those longer shots in the cave where you really get to see it when you come to the room at the end, and he unloaded on about 4 targets, and you can see that stuff going downrange. Very cool, and very clean burning. We shoot in the cave often, and it's not as often as people would like to, but we do it, and the ammo burns pretty clean inside there. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, so a lot of good things you mentioned there. One, I was picking on some people because there were some pictures of some of the nighttime video stuff we did for a video shoot, and one of the still captures is there's a miss on a plate rack. You can see the projectile path going right past the plate that's still standing, and it's where you can't see that. And any other type of video work, it's like, hey, the guy's shooting, and you don't know which round hits and which round goes past it, especially on paper. But with this, you catch a picture or you're watching from the stands, a spectator standpoint, you see where every round goes.
Yeah, and that's incredible. I mean, what good feedback, what training. I mean, and it has to be low light, but I mean, that's a great place to train.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, you can see it sometimes. People say, well, if I'm perfect on my sights, the first couple of times I shot, it's like I'm really concentrating on the target, and I might not see that projectile path. But if I look up over my sights a little bit in a real situation where I'm actually shooting multiple targets, and looking at the next target as I'm engaging the targets, you can see that trace on every single target. So you see that visual indicator of where that round went, and you start getting faster and faster because your confidence level grows immensely when you know that every round that you just shot went through the center of the target. And it always brings you right back.
Yeah, it always amazes me also the people that say I may not be able to see it, so it's kind of gimmicky or whatever. A lot of really good shooters shoot with both eyes open, and when you're shooting both eyes open, there's no missing it. I mean, you can see it because it's just the way your eyes are built.
Absolutely.
And you're still looking over your sights, but you're seeing what's going on. Very cool stuff. And I equated it a lot to, it's not on fire. It is a glowing. It's almost like one of those toys your kids have that glows in the dark, and they have to put it up to the light to charge it.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, and
that's how it works.
And then, or you're like your watch, or something like that. It's just really getting charged by the fire that's behind it, and the fire dissipates and goes away when it leaves the gun barrel. But that charge holds up. A 9mm, you're not shooting 200 yards, so you can see it. It's awesome.
We shot it in the desert, and you can see 9mm, 250 yards easily. If you got a good spot, it's visual. When it's dark, you can see it. 45 glows like crazy. It's a big projectile, so the more surface area in the back of that projectile, the brighter it's going to be because it's a little flatter. But yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's never on fire. So it's not the powder burning that actually ignites it. It's just the flash. So the flash is just like a flashlight or holding, like you said, a watch up to the light to get that photoluminescence to glow, and that's what we're doing. We're creating that back to the projectile. So as it goes downrange, you can see it really clear. The smaller calibers, 223 and 308, they're available in rifle calibers, but it's recommended for night vision only just because it's a dim trace. It glows just as much as the pistol calibers, but the projectile's moving a lot faster. So the faster it moves, the less light you catch. But with night vision, boy, you can see that stuff like nobody's business.
And good news locally for the people listening to the radio show locally, Nick, I went into Gander Outdoors. They have a cool little kiosk with a video up, and you can watch the video of it. And they've got some of that ammo right here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So, Tommy, I'm sure you guys, you're getting it out there pretty much everywhere that you can. And where do they find more information about it as we go off the show?
Sure. ammoinc.com. You can find all the information on all of our brands there. Like I say, Streak is the brand that's probably the highest visibility out there for us because we're really pushing it. We want everybody to see it because it is a visual ammo. It's different than anything else out there on the market, and that's kind of what we need in the industry right now. Is something a little bit different. There's a lot of training applications for commercial use, for law enforcement use, because it's a visual indicator to get you back on target quickly.
Absolutely. We need to have a Streak demo night at Rockcastle because most ranges won't let you shoot at night. Mm-hmm. And
that's true.
It would be cool, and I highly don't recommend going out in your backyard and popping off rounds in the dark, just so you can see your ammo glow. So you need to get with Rockcastle Shooting Center somewhere like us that's cool enough to let you come shoot this stuff when it's dark. Was what I'm saying.
Yeah, let's put that together.
All right, let's do that. And Tommy, another request that's totally off subject, but I don't think you're going to shoot in the Pro-Am 3-Gun Championships in August, but we need you there to be part of the industry band. We've got Eduardo, who's a rock star from Brazil, is going to be the lead singer, and we need you on guitar behind him, brother.
All right, I'll see if I can make that happen.
All right.
We'd love to have you guys in Ammo Inc. up at the Rock anytime.
All right, we appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, we're going to take a break. You got to go check that stuff out, man. It's really cool. Shooting in the Cave was awesome. We're going to take a break, pay some sponsors. You're listening to Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN, ESPN Radio 1027.com.
This is a Morgan & Morgan consumer message.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I am often asked, what is the value of my case? The answer, of course, depends on your injuries, liability, and the damages to you financially. And it also very much depends on the law firm you hire to represent you. Many times, firms are hired without much thought or research. All firms are not the same, not even close. I know of firms and lawyers who haven't tried a case in years, maybe never. The insurance company knows who they are, too. Some lawyers need the money more than you do. Go to forthepeople.com and look at our verdicts in court. Here you will see injuries just like yours. You will see what the insurance company offered and, more importantly, what a jury decided. You will have an idea what your case may be worth in our hands. And just because you've already hired a lawyer doesn't mean you can't fire them before it's too late. For over 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has been here at your time of need. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. On your cell, dial pound law, that's all. Offices, Bowling Green.
This is Nate from Rockcastle Shooting Center. Did you know that one of the premier shooting ranges in the world is right here in South Central Kentucky? Rockcastle Shooting Center has something for everyone's recreational shooting enjoyment. From 3D archery to our brand new sporting clays course, handgun ranges full of steel to targets out to a mile. There's no better place to get some trigger time than Rockcastle Shooting Center. Non-members are welcome, and memberships start at $150 per year. We offer a fantastic range of firearms training and education opportunities from the most basic to the most advanced. Come see us, exit 48 on I-65, Park City, Kentucky. Visit rockcastleshootingcenter.com.
J&K Used Cars is the place to go when you need a quality automobile at an affordable price. Stop in at 670 on the bypass in Bowling Green and see this week's special. A 2011 Toyota Tacoma pickup. Crew Cab 4x4 comes with V6 engine, good miles, sport wheels, camper shell, power options, and more for only $21,995. Hurry in because at that price it won't last long. J&K Used Cars with over 40 years of serving the community with affordable prices on quality automobiles. Visit J&K on the bypass and online at jnkusedcars.com.
Yeah. The Rockcastle Gun Show. We're still at it right here in the studios, just south of the Hill, the Rockcastle Club, exit 48 on I-65, right here in Kentucky. And no better place to come shoot and hang out with us for the weekend. We got a big weekend coming up at the Rock. Ranges are open, and plenty of places to get out there and get your bang on. And we had a great show so far with Tommy Thacker coming on from Streak Ammunition. Before that, we had Tom Fuller talking about the Armageddon Gear Cup new format. Kind of a PRS.
$40,000 in cash prizes for a PRS match. I mean, that's a big deal.
Man, I may need to get into PRS.
I know. I'm into it. I'm just not very good.
I won't be a top 40. Don't get me wrong.
I'm not going to make the top 20 at all. Yeah, so, hey, but don't forget, all you listeners out there listening here across the world, we can create the ultimate gun vacation here at Rockcastle Shooting Center, or the Rockcastle Club. We can tailor if you want to shoot whatever kind of gun you want to shoot, we can make it happen. We can make it happen with American heroes, with famous competitive shooters. But if you just want to come get your sporting clays on, get your long-range gun on, get your pistol on, we got it, and it happens all right here.
Listen, you can go to Nashville and spend thousands of dollars and get hammered, fall around on the streets, land and puke and stuff, or you can have your bachelor party at Rockcastle Shooting Center and get your gun on a little.
That's right.
It's it's a manly kind of thing.
So we're bringing on our next guest, dear friend, and just part of the Rockcastle team in more ways than 7. It's Mr. David Power. What's up, David?
Hey, good evening, guys. How are we?
Great to have you. David is the match director for the Rockcastle Pro-Am 3-Gun Championships, which is a crown that he put on, and it's a tough crown to wear, but he is the king of the Rockcastle Pro-Am. He's also the king of the Rockcastle Sporting Goods, because he's Cave Mountain Clays, and you guys had a big weekend last week, right? The Mountain Heat.
Yeah, we had a great time. The Mountain Heat, we had lots of NSCA registered shooters come out, and it was a great event. The weather held out for us, and a lot of good targets. We had some guys really pleased with the target presentations and the course that was set. So,
looks like you had a pretty good turnout too for a registered shoot.
Yeah, it was, absolutely. It was great. It was a little hairy there for a while with the parking situation, right? We even added an additional parking lot and trailers and all that. That's a good problem to have. We got plenty of fields we can keep clearing.
That's right.
No doubt, man. We got fields for days. So, how much does it cost to come up there and shoot it on Cave Mountain Clays?
$45 for a round of 100, which is a 100-bird course. You can also do the walking course where you don't have to rent a golf cart, which we have plenty of golf carts available for $15 a piece if you just want to enjoy that. But you can walk a portion of the course, which is avoids some of the hills of the mountain of Cave Mountain, and shoot 50-bird course for just $20. So it's a great way just to get out and enjoy a little bit of time in nature, and there is no telling what kind of critters you're going to see this time of year. We've had everything from turkeys and deers and groundhog and squirrels and you name it.
They're residents of the course, man. They're residents. They're there all the time. And man, for $45 in this 150-degree heat, I'm getting the golf cart and going on the mountain and shoot some clays. And most of the course is shady.
We have a lot of it's shady. We try to keep you in the shade most of the time when we can on most of the shots, and we have bottled water. One of the first tasks of the day, you guys may see us come through there, is we're coming through filling up the cooler so that we can fill ice up on the and bottled water for the course during this type of heat. So we always take care of that. So we really try to treat our shooters like kings and make sure they stay hydrated and enjoy a good time.
Well, most of the people that are listening that paid attention to the pre-show stuff know that you're here to talk about the Rockcastle Pro-Am 3-Gun Championship, and they are listening very intently right now.
I hope that they're as excited as I am, and I doubt that's the case yet. But hopefully we can. I couldn't be more excited about this year's Pro-Am. It's coming together so fantastic right now that I'm bursting at the seams. I got to say it's all come together so well. We've assembled one heck of a team that's part of the Pro-Am. So I just happen to be the guy that was the knucklehead that said we'll take care of this. But some of the things that we brought on the team, just so people recognize these names. You got Brian Corey, who's coming in to help set the match, do his magic that he always does. And so Brian Corey's jumped on there for another year with us, so that's going to make things even more interesting. Of course, Linda Chico and her crew are coming over to handle the stats to make things easy if they've already registered, or if you're on that waiting list, get ready. Because she's about to open that thing back up again. We've maxed out, and we had a good conversation the other day, and we're going to open that thing up and really fill this match, because the way we've got it turning, it's going to look out really well. We've got great range masters this year with Dean DeTurk and Mike Dale, and Jason Agee from Innovative Targets is coming in as our Mr. Fix-It, and to handle a lot of those components and things that's coming along with it. We've got, now this is really where we're going to get some good stuff. We've got Brian Ray and Brian Vault from the Samson 3-Man 3-Gun held there at Rockcastle, which is handling our shoot-off on Friday night, which we can get into the details of that, but couldn't find any better people to run a team match where we're pairing some pros and some AMs together after their first day stats to have a very intense shoot-off to name the Pro-Am team, winners for this year. And Bruce Davidson has even stepped in from the Rock Hard batch, and he's got 2 stages that he has designed and setting up that he's wants to give a little flavor from that, along with the entertainment corner that we've got there in Thunder Valley, where Double Star is putting up their side batch, where this is a no reset. The 2 stages Bruce Davidson's got has no reset, and so you'll have time to shoot the side match without having to worry about resetting targets. And, of course, all the guys at Rockcastle, between Jerry and Amber and Lisa, Trish, all you guys there that are getting fired up and pumped up for a great match coming up.
I'm getting pumped up, and I'm also, this is where I start getting a little stressed. Going into
yeah. If we're not a little nervous, there's a problem. But, if you'll see some movements that are happening, I'll give the listening audience a little idea of some things they're going to expect. We're not looking for a circus here. We're looking for a great shooting match, right? But along with that, we're going to do some pretty cool things that are going to be straightforward and equal for the shooters. One of the stages, and I'll put a plug in here, we're taking, a lot of the cars, and you're basically going to be shooting in one of the largest car wrecks you've probably ever seen. So it's as if the Armageddon has happened.
It's
so
like,
pray you never need that gear, so I'm looking for somebody that might want to sponsor that stage. I don't know if you know anybody that would know something about Armageddon happening. And
he might have been on the show earlier.
It's going to be a lot like a bunch of millennials storming Area 51 is really what it's going to be like.
Exactly. Well, we're at cars turned on edges. You're going to have just a fantastic stage where the cars are everywhere, and it's going to look like one of the largest car crashes, and you just happen to be in there, and all the stuff hits the fan at the same time, and you've got to clear your way through it. So
it's going to be awesome.
That's going to be a fun stage I'm looking forward to. We've got on the opposite side of that, that's for a pro stage. On the opposite side of that, very close, is a AM stage where it's the golf cart ghost town. Very similar, but these are all the golf carts, which you've just, I guess you were on the golf course and the bomb went off or something, and all the golf carts lined in. So another great, position from that. Just was talking with Brian and some of the other details behind it. We've got some towers and some things that are happening. You're going to have I can't help but have a few birds in this thing with some throwers, so we're not going to try to make it an aerial type of match, but we are going to throw some unique things in there where you're going to have a few birds that you're going to deal with coming over you that you need to take care of along your path, and some really unique places that have not been used in the way that we plan on using them. So I hope everybody's getting excited. I hope you hear it in my voice, because as I just keep looking at the aerial photographs, as I keep riding and putting stakes in the ground and making some measurements and some distances, I get more and more excited every day.
Yeah, and there's no one better built for doing this than you, bro, by the way, because you've been in this game a long time, and there's not a 3-gun match on the planet that you haven't seen, shot in, competed in with your son, ran, RO'd, match, range mastered. It's pretty amazing the experience that David Power has in that arena. And you've always had a love for the sport, and you've done it for the junior camps, and you've done it for everything else. And I think people are really going to be excited to see Big Dave Power at the helm.
I think it'll be fun for everybody. There's some big shoes to fill from the Pro-Am. It is, I've tried to find it out, but as far as we can tell, and I'm going to draw the stake in the ground, this is the largest 3-gun competition in the world.
Yes,
People
absolutely.
come from all over for this match, and it is exciting, and they should have a good expectation of what to see from all of the previous match directors, the things that have been able to be pulled off. We just got to keep taking it up every notch we can. We've even today, as a matter of fact, we talked to, and this is a good one for your listeners to understand, there's going to be some slugs in this match too. So, round count will be coming out very soon, and we'll be taking videos of the stages, which will be up, as well as there'll be Linda Chico has a YouTube channel that she'll be posting it out on as well with the videos, with some preliminary stage things. Everyone's been asking the question. I say bring 250 pistol, 250 rifle, 250 bird, and at least 50 slugs, and you should be covered. If you stink really bad, you're going to be okay. If you shoot really well, you might take a little bit home. But there's going to be plenty of opportunities to utilize that ammo. And Gamil has stepped up to the plate, and they're going to bring their truck, and they are taking any orders that people want where they don't want to have to travel with their ammo. And they said, give them a call. They will have your ammo ready for you at the match.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we'll have an order sheet done. I talked to Grayson just the other day. He's going to have an order sheet that we're going to email out to everybody that's on the match list, that's in the match, and even some of the folks that will probably get in via the waiting list. So that's a great opportunity not to lug all that stuff around and just get it right there when you get to the range.
Yeah. And as always, you're going to come for a great match, but there's always that parking lot and that party. So we're planning some really neat things along with that too, as far as like the shoot off on Friday night, that's where we'll have dinner, and everyone will get to watch that with the top 16 pros and the top 16 AMs paired together to shoot. And if you know anything about proing, if you've never been, you've missed out, but this would be a great year to really get the full experience.
Yeah, and the sponsors are rolling in really good too. It's always super to see how many people support the match, and I got boxes of Vortex Optics rolling in. I got Hunter's HD Gold sunglasses rolling in the door.
Voodoo Tactical bag.
The new 3-gun bag from Voodoo Tactical. I mean, there's some hitters in the sponsor category coming in, and a lot of new ones too that haven't been involved in Pro-Am before. So it's going to be really fun to see everybody up there, all the vendor tents, and I know there's a cornhole tournament that usually goes down, and raffling off some guns usually goes down for a couple of the 3-gun Generation 3-gun and stuff like that. So it's going to be fun.
Looking forward to it, and it's creeping up on us soon, but things are moving. So I love to see the progress beginning, as it goes through, and we've got everything lined out into a great plan. Of course, we're ready to pivot where we need to pivot, but I think at the end of the day, we're going to do. Our entire team is going to put together the absolute best match that we possibly can.
Yeah, and for all those listeners that maybe would be interested in shooting the Pro-Am but didn't catch the February sign-up, which sold out immediately. If you could go online right now to rock3gun.com and put your name in the list, and there's a chance it is a fairly liquid waiting list, and some people have to bow out for different reasons, and there is a chance you can get in. So if you're interested, you get on that waiting list. You don't have to pay anything up front, but if you get in, you take care of it then. So
yeah, I know a pro shooter bowed out today, and there's a spot open. Somebody's coming off the wait list, so it's gonna be fluid from here on out. So, right on, Dave. We'll see you on the hill, brother.
Sounds great, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Yeah, and Rockcastle 3-Gun is gonna be awesome as usual. The Pro-Am is something we can't miss. It's one of those things. Come watch, do what you got to do. Come up, see us on the hill, watch some 3-Gun.
You listen to the Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN Radio, and hey, we had a great show tonight with Tom Fuller with Armageddon Gear, Tommy Thacker with Ammo Inc., and David Power with the Rockcastle Pro-Am 3-Gun Championships, and K Mountain Clays. You're listening to the Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN Radio, and we'll be back next week. Check us out. Download our iTunes podcast.